What's up, y'all? Polo Sports Talk and Entertainment. Back again with another one. Be sure to hit that like button, sub to the channel if you're not a member, and also hit the notification so that you're able to get all of my content as well as all of my videos. Now, we got a game coming up against the Raptors uh, this weekend to kick off the playoffs. And a personal favorite of mine, Fred VanVleet, the guard for the Toronto Raptors, uh, he had voiced his opinion in reference to the MVP candidate Joel Embiid. Okay, and he had this to say in reference to comparing Joel Embiid, his game and the way that he's playing and the evolution of him to a bag of a mixed bag of legends. Okay, and he said, "quote I think he was a little more back to the basket than playing like a five, end quote." And now he told reporters that he said, "quote now he's turned into Kevin Durant, Michael Jordan, Kobe, and Shaq all put together," end quote. Uh, Now another thing to to point out is that Joel Embiid has been urged to stay on the block and play the game like a traditional center, like how they used to play in the past, and how the traditional big man is supposed to play. But you know he still does pretty much what he does or whatnot in terms of handling the ball, and, stepping out on the perimeter and everything. And I'm gonna speak on that in just a second. But Fred VanVleet also said that he said, "quote he's handling it handling a little bit more. He's playing on the perimeter a little bit more, and he's facing up at the nail. He's playing at the elbow, so he can see where the help comes. You can see the jumper, the touches there. He's found different ways to get to the line. He's using his size on mismatches. He just continues to get better, and that's probably the most overlooked part of what we do in the league. We forget all all these all world guys, these uh, and these incredible talents can get better, and he's certainly gotten better since 2019." End quote. Uh, Here's my thing, okay? Now, it's no denying that talent wise, Joel Embiid, man, he's he's off the charts, man. You know what I'm saying? And people, listen. I want to let everybody know now that I'm hard as a motherfucker on a guy like Joel. Okay, but the one thing that I'm not gonna sit here and deny is his talent and his supremely gifted offensive game. However, however, we got to pump the brakes, and I disagree with Fred Memphis. Okay, now when we're talking about in the class with guys like Jordan, Kobe, uh, and even Shaquille O'Neal, you know the difference that separated a guy like Joel Embiid is that those guys actually played both ends of the floor. Even Kevin Durant, to a lot of extent, he played both ends of the floor. Um, you know, I'm not. Listen, he was a better rim protector at the at the beginning of his career, and he's averaging more blocks than Jokic, without a doubt, especially over his career. But he hasn't been the same the same defensive. That's just in my opinion. Okay, he hasn't been the same defensive. He's not that same defensive presence like when he was when he first got into the league or whatever. Um, in order for you to be put in the class two, also, I think a lot of people tend to get upset when I say this sort of thing. Is you know you have to get it done on a stage like this and at the biggest stage and on the biggest stage in terms of the playoffs. Hey, this is where you become immortal. All right. Listen, people forget that last year we were the number one seed and we still ended up losing. Okay, the difference between guys like Kobe and Jordan, even Kevin Durant, man. Look, man, Kevin Durant got a ring. Okay, he got two of them. So you know whether you like it or not or whatever, you know what I'm saying. Kevin Durant, he still got the ring. Okay, but you got to prove that you're able to get it done in crunch time. Now, does he have maybe a little bit less pressure than a guy like James Harden to get it done? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, he didn't, Joel Embiid didn't join forces with nobody or anything like that. James Harden came over there, but now, hey, you didn't, you weren't getting along with Ben Simmons. Now you got somebody else there. But that's a whole nother argument. I'm not about to go down that road. But what I'm just talking about right now, when Fred Van Fleet is saying that, you're, comparing you to certain legends and stuff, you know, I I think it's kind of unfair to do that. Now, I know this guy is on the verge of possibly getting the MVP. I don't agree with him getting the MVP. I know he's leading the league in scoring and stuff like that, but all of that gets swept up under the rug, man. If you don't get it done in the playoffs, and especially okay, you came in last year as a number one seed, and then this year you're coming in as an MVP candidate and as well as the leading the leading scorer in the league. All right, and then also you made the record books to be the first center since uh, Shaquille O'Neal to lead the league in scoring. Joel Embiid, if he if he can get to at least an Eastern Conference final or even a finals even, then okay, start winning a little bit more. Start winning. You know what I'm saying? Fred VanVleet, I understand all of that. And I understand you see the game you might see the game a little bit different and everything like that. But you can't you can't quite put him in that sentence, as of yet. Because those guys right there, they wanted to win. Jordan played for championship. Kobe played for championship. Those guys that you put in there, even Shaquille O'Neal, he played for championship. You know, and no matter how those guys did it, they still were able to get it done. And Joel Embiid has to get it done. He can't continue year after year to be in the playoffs, right, and just be, putting up these stats and everything, and then go home. Now, if you're putting him in the same class as a Jordan, as a Kobe, as a Kevin Durant, okay, now the expectations are going to be even higher. Now you have to lead. Now you're gonna have to have that mentality like, okay, look, we're losing. Give me the fucking ball. That's what you're gonna have to do. If and look, it is a lot of it gonna fall on Harden too. Yeah, Harden is gonna have to show it. All of them, and Doc Rivers, of course, too. But Fred VanVleet, he needs to pump the brakes. He needs to pump the brakes. And I like Fred VanVleet. But those guys that you comparing Joel Embiid to, well, at least MJ and Kobe to a certain extent, because Kobe got hurt sometimes too. But pretty much MJ out of that whole entire list was the most durable one, because Shaquille O'Neal was frequently getting hurt. KD has gotten hurt quite a few times and everything, and it's kept him out and everything. So we got to talk about durability too. And Joel Embiid, man, his first couple of years in the league, people were starting to question him, about him and him being out there on the floor and actually staying out there on the floor and staying healthy. But for the most part, him comparing Joel Embiid to somebody like MJ or Kobe or something like that. Let's just talk about the mentality alone. Like, he doesn't have that type of that killer will in order to carry the team over. It doesn't seem that way. Now, scoring wise, his moves and all that, yeah, that's great. You could dazzle the crowd all you want to, but you'll dazzle your way out of the fucking playoffs doing that. And people get mad. People get so offended when I talk about Joel Embiid. But see, all this stuff about, oh yeah, well, uh, Jokic got to get it done. And I was talking about Luka, he's got to get it done, and all this other stuff. Embiid, he got to get it done. Embiid has got to get it done. And on top of that, I must repeat again, he was the number one seed. We were the number one seed, man, last season. And Atlanta sent us home. Atlanta sent us home like they owned us. Now look, I give him just a slight little pass, and that was because he played on the torn meniscus. But this year, what's up, JMJ? I'll see you in the building. This year, you gotta get it done. So, y'all let me know what you think. Leave your comments, like the video, share, subscribe. Follow Sports Talk and Entertainment. I'll get at you later.